Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are at today. This is Shady from Side Weather, and we'll be covering yet again another severe weather event. Okay, everybody, let's take a look at our day one event going on. This is a thunderstorm risk for today. Really nothing major anywhere in these regions. Are going to be seeing a little bit of rumbles of thunder, maybe some heavy winds at times, but there not is any major risk out for these areas today. No risk for the tornado risk today is less than 2%. Don't see any tornadoes happening. Same as wind, no wind risk, and same as hail. Taking a look at our day two on our slight, which is going to be tomorrow. We have a slight risk for the portions of here. We have portions of slight risk for this area. This area includes Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Oklahoma. Also have a marginal, which is a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale for these areas. Major cities that are impacted are Houston, Texas, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Little Rock, Arkansas, Jackson, Mississippi, and Dallas, Texas. Taking a look at our day 2 tornado risk, we have a little bit of a 2% and then a 5% tornado risk for portions of northern Louisiana and southern and central Arkansas and some areas of the most east part of Texas. Wind risk, we have a green risk. Hold up, let me go ahead and try to find this, everybody. Excuse me. Um, we, we basically have a risk right in these areas for wind, which is going to be the heaviest amounts for high winds. Then we have another area over here, which is going to be another area for a high amount of winds. So I have to keep a lookout for that. Taking a look at our hail risk, looks like anywhere from most southeast areas of Oklahoma can see a little bit of heavy hail at times. And then anywhere in southwest Arkansas and northwest Louisiana and um, could be seeing some hail. So as Texas, which would be the southeast, uh, more of just the most east portions of Texas, could be seeing some heavy hail at times. Moving over to our day 3, sorry, need to correct that. We have a enhanced out for a good portion of Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. These cities in this area include Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, Montgomery, Alabama, and Greensboro, North Carolina. You can see this is a 3 out of 5 on severe weather scale. We have in the green, this is going to be the yellow, but we have a green area for severe weather, which is a 1 out of 5 for those areas. Then we have a yellow, which is 2 out of 5 for these areas, portions of Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and portions of most northern Florida. Then we have a enhanced for portions of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. So taking a look right now at our probabilities, this is the highest probability I've seen in a while. So taking a look here, and I'll show this for you real quick as I pull up this. Right now, the probabilities for this area, excuse me, we have a 30% probability for in the red, and then we have a 15 in the yellow, and then we have a 5 in the green. And the hatch is going to be probably the most worst area of seeing severe weather, hail, and heavy winds at times. So it's going to be interesting to see how this progresses through the day and see how what we'll see coming up during this on Friday night. So stay tuned for this. Moving on over to our models. Alright, everybody, taking a look at our models right now. We can see that once we push this up to the beginning of the event, you can see all this convection start to push its way up from the Gulf of Mexico, and it just shoots up like a rocket and then slowly moves this way as the event goes on. So we'll continue to fast forward this and watch it how it progresses. So again, you can see that convection starting to form. You can see in these areas of the areas of in here all the way down. You can see these storms right in this area and then bullseye. You can see that's where the storms start to form around 09Z, around Friday, January 12th. So we'll continue to look at this as it moves on. You can see it really starts to get more stronger, but not as strong as I thought it would be. You can see some of these individual supercells could do something if they wanted to, but we'll just have to keep looking an eye out on this. Once again, this one is pretty far out. We can't really estimate what's going to go on until probably tomorrow. So I'll be out with another upload video on that. But it's given us a good idea of what we could see, and it's kind of a deja vu of it because this is just what happened yesterday and into Monday. So you can see that squall line, and you can see this right here. This is what I'm really interested about. This is a very crazy looking QLCS, and plus on the back end of it, it's got heavy bow echo, like some kind of bow on it, and it's pretty interesting to see. So we'll have to see what's going to go on with this. As we go ahead and move this a little bit more. We really ain't doing nothing, so we'll take a look at our surface space cape. So take a look at our surface space cape. You can see how it starts to push in from the Gulf of Mexico. Doesn't have much cape to do anything, but we'll take a look at the unstable one. Yeah, this storm has a lot of cape, and this is one of the main ingredients that storms like to feed on. You can see anywhere from Louisiana, you're getting anywhere from at least 2,000 to like 1,500 cape. And that's going to be pretty good ingredients for these storms if they want to do something. So we'll have to continue to watch that. Tornado parameters right now, we'll take a look at these. Yeah, there's your tornado parameters. Louisiana, anywhere from Florida, Alabama. So we'll have to continue to monitor that as the tornado parameters are fairly up there. Taking a look at our, let's see, dew points. Dew points, we'll see here, you can see the dew points start to rush in as this band moves out. You can see there's your dew points, there's your area where you want your dew points. You ideally want it in the blue to get energy off of it, but sometimes it's a hit and miss. Temperatures fairly warm out as the day goes on. You can see it's anywhere from some areas have 70s to mid low 60s. Ideally, we'd like the temperatures to be a little bit higher, but there's nothing you can do about it. Humidity's really there right now with that. You can see anywhere from down here reaching high 90s. The humidity fairly ideal. We need to see that if we want something to happen. But overall, we need to just continue monitoring this as it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to go on. So let's go ahead and take a look over here at the closer range of the main area that's going to be getting hit. You can see if these start to move in, you can see by the looks of it, here's something I've just noticed. You come over here, you look at this. This is a individual cells popping up, and then you have a couple little cells here. So it's going to be a question mark on these areas. What's going to go on? Question mark on these areas. What's going to go on? We'll see if the model progresses with it. But that's something to be very interested about. You can see it really starts to form into a line right in this area. I mean, this line right in here stretching all the way from the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico and down. You can see this is very intense, and on the back side of it, you can see some convection going up right in this area into Georgia, to some areas of Alabama, and to the Florida areas. So we'll have to be monitoring this as this goes on. Starts the weekend, but once daytime hits tomorrow on Friday, I think it's going to strengthen a little bit. We'll see something. Once again, these are long-term models. Can't always rely on them, but once we get more info, we can rely and see what's actually going to go on. Take a look at the most unstable cape and shear. It's a decent amount of cape going on in the northern areas of Florida, which I think that's where all these storms are going to try to feed from. Once you have all this cape down in this area, just going to try to skyrocket up here and try to feed these storms. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to go on here, and it kind of is doing the same thing, but that once it dissipates. Taking a look at our SRH. This kind of tells us the storm helicity. Fairly strong, interesting. That's fairly strong for some of these areas. Uh, Tornado parameters. We'll see here. Tornado parameters are fairly high in Georgia for Friday, so that's fairly interesting. South Georgia could be seeing something if these do play out to be true. So that's our main area of concern right there. We'll have to continue watching that area. Checking the temperatures and dew points in these areas. You can see the dew points are fairly high, and that's the dew points we want right in that area. So if I was them, I'd be mainly looking at this area and down some. Dew points are ideal for these areas in the 60s, so we'll have to continue watching that. Continuing on with that, we'll have to watch these temperatures, and you see these temperatures are up in the 70s at least. So that's fairly ideal. As it warms up, you can see they're like getting 75, 76, almost 80 some areas. So we'll have to continue to watch that, as it's going to be very interesting to see. Dew points, humidity. Humidity is in the 90s. Safety tips for severe weather: no, never drive through flooded roads. Also, never. Also, tornado sirens aren't designed to be heard indoors. Tornadoes can occur in severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. Take shelter for severe thunderstorm warnings too. You may not have much time to seek shelter. Wear a helmet and shoes and when taking shelter. Lightning can strike several miles away from a thunderstorm. Have a plan, stay away from windows, and have a storm kit. Okay, everybody, once again, thank you all for watching the video today. I appreciate it. You can go ahead and find us on Twitter at SciWeather, Instagram SciWeather91, and Discord SciWeather. Appreciate you guys' support. We'll catch you next time, and there might be a video out later tonight about the cold temperatures hitting the U.S. later this week.